Hello, David. Numero uno. Like the old times, right? I know it's been a while. It looks like you went for a ride with your horse and you got lost. Yeah? Beyond the Watch says, hello, Mehran. Oh, hello, Patrick. Male 30, Ireland. Dawn, hello. Hello, my love. She says, just got on alert to say you're alive. You're alive. Yes, I'm live and alive at the same time. She says, I'm just cooking dinner at the moment. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'll be busy for the next hour, so dinner will get cold. But, you guys go ahead. Hope you're well, she says. How's your mom? Thank you very much, darling. Mom is back at home. They did a procedure to put a stent in one of the arteries, and it's good. And I think in about 10 days or a couple of weeks, she's due back for another procedure for the valve correction or assistance, or what it is that they need to do. And thank you very much for asking, and hope all is well with you and your loved ones, and that the dinner will come out just as always perfect, right? Am I right? David says horses are what they used. The horses aren't what they used to be. I guess so. Is it the horses or the riders? David's male 24 Dallas. Beyond the Watch says, sending you good key and lots of good energy from across the pond. Wow, great. You're talking my language. Aikido. You must be a student of Aikido. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Dawn says, glad she's home. Great news. Thank you very much, Dawn. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's always not a good experience when you have to keep going to the hospital and visit your loved ones. It's just, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Always did. So let me know what's going on with you guys. Let me just do my regular greeting message here, which I forgot to write, but it's never too late. I can do it right now. As simple as hello, everyone. Simple as that. I just love to put this, add this little pineapple with my hello, because it reminds me of Hawaii, and that's where I just love to be. So let's see if you guys had any chance to promote the channel, for heaven's sake. We sure do need the exposure, guys. Don't forget. David says, still studying, maybe less than a year left until graduation. Good for you, David. Keep it up. Full force ahead. Don says, well, I actually have a problem going on here. Lol, oh, you have a problem. What problem? To coming online? What's the problem, Don? David said, hey, speaking of promoting, what happened to your Instagram activity? Yeah, I know my Instagram activity for a few months, I had a young man who is really good at what he does, and I had to pay, of course, every month, and it became a little bit too much for my budget, because we didn't have much more than a good move, and it was effective, but stopped. Growth had stopped and needed, I guess, I don't know, that kind of money wasn't available. And I thought, I should have a better, more economic way to have that happen, generic maybe. So I have a young lady from India who happened to be fond of the channel, and the assistant that she received where she was working, and all those people who were working at that company were were having conversation with me for their challenges. The whole company pretty much, or at least many of them. And she was gracious enough to offer to help me with the Instagram growth and all that. And but I think she's been busy because I haven't seen any changes or any activities on my Instagram or Facebook, or the plans that she had for some articles in the paper in India and so on. So I'm sure she will get to it when she has the time, but so far we're just dormant and nothing is moving, no activities, and I don't know really how to do that happen. So for now, I'm just focusing on live talks once in a while if I can, and the consultations are good. Skype consultations come often, and we hope to get exposure that we need in order to be able to reach more people, help more people. Otherwise, we'll just wither and die. Don says, a few days ago, one of my supervisors texted me telling me he has fallen in love with me. Oh, wow, I wouldn't be surprised. Such a wonderful energy and approach you have. Obviously, that is not a bad thing, is it? So she says, I was so shocked. He is really struggling with it, as I have told him that I can't get involved. A few days ago, one of my supervisors texted me, she says, telling me that he has fallen in love with me. Right? He must be very shy to text this rather than asking you for a cup of coffee or tea, or maybe, I don't know, an outing of some kind, lunch, and get to know you. I don't know how far do you guys know each other. It just seems like out of the blue, or did you guys have some interactions, some ways to get to know each other, dated before, or something? Or was it just out of the blue, a text comes, someone that you know, a supervisor that says that? It is shocking in a way, if there has been no kind of something to lead up to it. And Don says, I was so shocked. He's really struggling with it, as I have told him I can't get involved. So that means before the text, I'm just reading between the lines, before the text, you had noticed his interest and you had mentioned that you can't get involved. Am I reading it right? Or can you be more clear? Help me out here. Throw me the bone. Give me the info. And Don says, I adore him as a friend, but nothing more. I feel sass that this has upset him. I don't want to get involved with a colleague. Well, it's the right choice not to get involved with a colleague. But if it's serious, if you also like him, would like to like him more than a friend, and your only objection is that he's a colleague, And if this is really serious, maybe you can change to a different department, or he can change to a different department, and then no longer a real colleague. And so if things don't go good, don't go well, you guys won't be in a pickle and would be able to stay work and not be in contact so closely if you were working in the same department. But generally, it is a good idea not to be involved with a colleague. However, how can you help it when people are working in the same environment, the same company? That's one way to get to know each other. That's one way to get to know other people. And it can happen. The problem with it is that if things don't work out, it'll be an awkward situation, having to see each other all the time and yet have some difficulties to communicate or tolerate each other due to some experiences and stuff. So Don says, I had no idea how he felt. We were both on leave at the time. At which time? He went away for his birthday. Oh, at the time that he texted you, I guess. He went away for his birthday. I messaged him wishing him happy birthday, and he poured his heart out. Oh, saying he was missing me and loves me. Oh. Okay. Maybe it was his birthday and he felt lonely and you haven't been nice to him or kind to him, or interaction was pleasant and positive in his eyes or your eyes or both eyes, and he felt like birthday, special day, and a nice woman is paying attention to him in a friendly way, but at that time for a man could be a little bit difficult to understand that there's nothing more than friendliness and kindness there, and he could interpret it differently based on his own emotional needs, especially at a special time when one thinks birthday is important and I don't have a girlfriend, therefore maybe I feel sad or lonely, or suddenly an attraction or a attention would hit him differently, and he reacts to it in a way that he would not have reacted in any other day if it wasn't his birthday. I think it's perhaps his need at the time has caused him maybe to react this way. Not that you've done anything to help him to misunderstand, obviously not. You simply wished him a happy birthday. But obviously you guys are close enough that you would text him and wish him a happy birthday, meaning there is a friendship there. And for a man, often it is very difficult to draw the line between an intention of a woman as a friend, an intention of a woman that he could capitalize on or misunderstand it or interpret it as more of an interest than a friend. And men have a difficult time to distinguish this as carefully as they should, or as clearly as it should be, because by default men are interested in women. A heterosexual male is interested in woman and adores, loves, and is drawn by his program when he sees a female, wants to pursue getting to know her and follow his default programming in his genes. So when there is a warmth and friendship and a connection, and certain attraction is usually there from the man's side, because that's how we are programmed, then a little bit of a warmth and kindness could be misinterpreted by the man. While it's very clear for the woman that I'm just being friendly, but the man takes that little friendliness and exaggerates it to the point that satisfies his emotional need, which is often an illusion. But it is an illusion that seems so real because he has that need, the programming in his genes, that's a woman, that's a female, I'm programmed to love her, like her, she's kind to me, then that's enough, she's qualified, everything about her is perfect. Sometimes they can't tell the difference. Don says, I have told him that all I can be is a friend. He accepts this, but keeps texting, telling me he's struggling with it. You mean after this episode or before this, he's also been texting and expressing his infatuation or interest? Or do you mean after this, you wishing him happy birthday and then he pours his heart out? So Don says, I have told him that all I can be is a friend. He accepts this, but keeps texting, telling me he is struggling with it. I have not led him on, and have been totally honest. I see. I feel awkward, and I know I shouldn't. I just don't like hurting anyone. After text. So these things have been after text. If you genuinely, Don, don't have an interest, a romantic interest in him, do not see him as the man that you would like to get to know him further as a partner or be intimate with him in any shape or form, then you might simply, I don't know, in the company's cafeteria, having tea or coffee or lunch or whatever opportunity that happens that he would perhaps wants to have an interaction with you, a discussion with you, you can simply clearly and kindly, without overly kindly, because at that time he's really vulnerable, he's got his illusions all together, and any expression of warmth and kindness could be misunderstood by him as there is a trickle of hope in there that she might be interested. So simply by being very forthcoming and pleasant, yet not intimate, tell him exactly what you said, that I have no possible interest for us to be anything more than I am with other friends. I'm warm and interested in people's lives and always wish them well. And I have the same feelings for you, but I have no other feelings as far as intimacy or romance or consideration for partnership or any further dating of any sort. You got to put this out if that is exactly how you feel. If you have any other feeling, well, maybe you want to explore it and give him a chance. But if you actually don't, then make that clear and cut it right out. Other than that, otherwise, every day you should be putting up a show. Oh, hi, how are you? And you feel like obligated because, he loves you, you know about it. Now, you don't want to be a bad person. You want to feel good about yourself. You're thinking about your watcher, your judger, your judge that you have created out of your own thoughts, watching you from the outside over you and how you behave. And you want to be getting kudos from that judge, which is your own thoughts. You will start acting weird. You will start acting that you have to be compassionate. You have to, as if somebody is actually dying from hunger and you want to be helpful. That's not the case, because then you would not be doing honest service to yourself. You would be putting yourself in a pickle, and you would have to continue that role that every day you're going to be thinking about that you got to be a nice person, you got to not hurt people, and for that you're going to be not showing your real feelings, and he would misunderstand it further and further, and things become more complicated. So if you're clear in your mind how you think, then you got to be very clear with him on a serious but cordial way, but nothing more, so there would be no misunderstanding. In that way, he would be able to have an opportunity to cut it, to understand it clearly, and you wouldn't have to put up with the charade of, I have to be nice to him. Oh, hello, how are you? How's your day? Oh, I wish, you know how it is that you want to be nice to someone, and then you constantly trying to make sure you're not being looked upon as a mean person, then you're nicer than you would want to be, makes you feel uncomfortable and gives the wrong signal to that person. And Dawn says, I feel sorry for him. I'm not interested in him in that way. I just want to be friends. I see. Well, then, as I said, it would be prudent, it would be important for you to make that clear to him, so he won't be hurt by his own illusions because you have not helped in that. You just made sure, and you helped him to know there is nothing here waiting for him, so he can sort it out sooner than later without any encouragement. That's going to be tough when someone loves someone when that other someone is not interested or reciprocating. But you don't have to be overly concerned. Your duty is as important to yourself as it is to other people, if not more. So you have to make sure yourself is comfortable. It is not your fault if he has that feeling, but it would be your fault if you don't protect yourself as far as putting an end to this awkward feeling by simply expressing how it should be expressed, so you have at least have not damaged your own psyche while you're trying to help him. That is not your responsibility at this point. People should figure it out, and it's not going to kill him. So many people loves other people, and it's just not meant to be, or they're not together, so it's all fine. It's nothing you should be doing, and nothing you should be really overly concerned, other than, just as you said, you feel sorry for him. That's it. Having said that, let's go to Royal Doyle. It says 24 from Montreal. Is it MO? No? Or is it Missouri? Because I believe you were here once before and I made the same mistake. MO. I thought it's Montreal, but I think it was Missouri. No? All right. It says, I don't know how to stop lusting for girls. Well, you can never stop lusting for girls. That's in your genes. But you can be respectful and control and not behave in a way that it would make them uncomfortable. That is the way of a gentleman. If you're a man, you should be strong. And if you're strong, you would be able to protect women from your own desires even. Not in just protecting them from what harm may be facing them, but also from yourself. When you like someone, it doesn't mean just because you like someone, it gives you a carte blanche to act on it. There are lots of things you like in this world. You like that beautiful Ferrari. Are you supposed to go and, fiddle with it? No, it's not yours. You're not permitted. You're not welcome. And just because you like someone, you like money, right? You go rob a bank or start, playing with the money in the cashier's till? No. So you have to understand, just because you like someone, you have emotions toward, you have infatuations toward, or you, as you said, you lust for someone, it doesn't give you any right to make them uncomfortable or act on it or think that this would be something that is accepted or reciprocated or should be. So hold your horses and be proper, and that's what it comes with being a heterosexual male. You love women and you could lust for them, but that doesn't mean you should show it or act on it or make anyone uncomfortable. And the first rule of life is to control your urges, to be appropriate and not feel anyone feel insecure. And to be a man is to protect every woman, even from your own desires. Now, Don says, I'm continuing to be myself, kind and caring. I just feel awkward, but I know that he needs to work things out himself. Yes, he does. This is not your responsibility to now mother him or be overly concerned. Many men love women in the first sight, which often we know it's not love, it's lust, but that's what it is with men. Heterosexual male loves women, and it's a program. But when they love someone and there is nothing else from the other side, they just have to go on and deal with it. It's not your duty to nurse them back to wherever it should be. It's their own responsibility, and don't worry about it too much. And she says, I just feel sorry for him. It's awful loving someone who doesn't want you. Yes, I know, it is. It's true. But it is your right. You have control on your own feelings, and you make your own choices, and you're under no obligation. No woman is under any obligation, or no man is under any obligation to love back someone that you don't love in romantic way or in any other way. Having said that, let us go to Ashley. Have I missed anyone? David says, or maybe he had too many drinks as well while celebrating. Yeah, well, possibly. That wouldn't help, would it, David? I think it's probably Dawn's fault. If she's a looker, then she's a trouble. So, and there's the evidence. SL says, good morning, Mehran. Good morning, SL. Stephen, male, 39, Los Angeles. Hello, Stephen. And Stephen goes on saying, oh, before Stephen, we have Qudsiya Jahan says, I like you, sir. You're a lifesaver. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. And if you wouldn't mind, let us know the three little protocols that we need to connect, to know your gender, your age, and where you're tuning in from. That gives us a little bit of an information of who you are, where you are, and who we are talking with, what cultural backgrounds, and what age, and what gender. And I appreciate that. Ashley says, I kind of always have imaginary conversations with her. Oh, with who? Are we starting from the middle of a sentence? Did you send me a message on this before? No? So I'm supposed to guess the prelude. I kind of always have imaginary conversation with her. Truth is, she stopped talking to me 8 months back and blocked me from everywhere. But these imaginary conversations just don't stop. Oh, gee. All right. I think you need to get out more and get involved with some, I don't know, sports activities or socializing, and bring bring a little bit of more. I'm sorry. I just bring some a little bit more of actuality to your life, because life is an illusion. And the illusion you focus on is the reality, but better not to focus too much on illusions, because that becomes your life, and then it's hard to tell the difference between, if you are with someone, pretty soon you'll be dancing alone by yourself in the street, or having a conversation, or maybe an argument, which are not gonna look good. So handle that. Understand that she's no longer there, and you should go on and find real friends and real experiences. Stop that nonsense and focus the fact. The fact is that, there's so many other wonderful women out there, and you should focus on getting to know and socializing with them, and that's the way to get over this, rather than constantly, because the more you go through your mind in this illusion, what are you doing? You're conditioning yourself to pay attention to something that has no actuality, but by repetition, you will create more and more conditioning between the synaptic neurons to believe that there is something real, like you're looking for it, and always you'll be on the lookout for it. And this conditioning is no good for you. And after a while, you actually are focusing on something that doesn't exist, which in a way you're making yourself to believe something that is not real, which makes it very confusing for you. And then after a while, you will feel guilty to actually get to know another woman, because you have created this illusory interaction with this woman, and you've grown loyalty towards this illusion that you've created. And that loyalty stops you from actually getting to know someone else, because you think, how can I'm in love with her, and that her doesn't even exist. But you have created that loyalty because your mind doesn't understand if she's real or not. If you conjure it up and constantly stay on it, your mind believes that there is a reality, because you've created that reality in your mind, and you believe your mind, and you've constantly done it. So you've conditioned yourself to actually treat it as real, and therefore that stops you and creates certain kind of a loyalty in you about that whole interaction, as fictitious as it is, and then you won't even have the desire to go on and to get to know a real person, because you feel you're sinning. You're betraying. Who you're betraying? You're betraying the most important person in the world. Who? You. Because you created this. Your illusion is your creation. And who's more credible than you? Nobody. So you believe that what you're thinking has credibility. And that stops you from actually going on getting to know someone as if you're doing something wrong. So, stop that, please. And Gainer. You haven't been around, Gainer. Says, hi, Mehran. My friend married a girl he loved. Oh, I hope so. And 4 years gone. And now she starts going to work with other men. I'm sorry? Okay. With other men's bike? Mostly go to her mom house at night. Not really like to be with him usually. What it means? I'm sorry, I'm totally confused. My friend married a girl he loved. Okay. 4 years ago. Now the girl starts going to work with other men's bike. I don't understand. What is she, a biker, or she's a rickshaw driver, or what does she do? That she starts going to work with other men's bike? Oh, she gets ride. Probably you mean she gets a ride when she wants to go to work with other men who have a bike and they come and pick her up to go to work. I think that's what you mean. Did I decipher? Mostly go to her mom house at nights. Don't get it. Not really like to be with him usually. What it means? Oh, so she gets a ride to go to work from men who have bikes. So she rides on the bike of other men, like behind them, hold on to them, whatever, and go to work. And also, she doesn't go home at night. Mostly, she goes home to her mom's home at night because she doesn't want to be with her husband. All right. And Gaynor says she not openly ending this relation also. All right. So that has been a little bit of a deciphering program needed here, which I think I passed with flying colors, I believe. So, well, you know, that's something that I cannot help from here. Just simply, your friend needs to talk to her and say, what's going on? If you don't like me, you want a divorce from me, well, okay, let me know, and so we'll go and do that. If there is something that I can do that would put you at ease or make your interest to be rekindled, or something that I'm not aware of it, let's discuss it. But if she doesn't talk and he doesn't talk, well, I guess nothing's going to be resolved unless they start talking. So get them talking. Maybe you can arrange a little bit of a tea or coffee session and have her come there and have your friend come there and you be there and another woman also be there, so you guys can help to create the conversation about their situation and see what the real reasons are. Or perhaps if they, once they start going, then you guys can, you know, move away and let them discuss it on their own. That's what I think, I guess. And I'm sorry, I gotta go out of the let's see, I see something funny here. Let's see what Jesse says. Jesse says, hi Mehran, thank you for bursting my bubble last time. What did I say? Saying session was necessary. Victim role was over with saying that, and I suddenly realized that my problem was what my problem was. Jesse, I think you give me too much credit to remember everything that went on last time that you were here, which I think last time you were here was, what, a month ago? I don't remember what the conversation was, but I do remember something, but not exactly. So if you like to remind me, by all means, I'm all ears. But I hope what I did was helpful, nevertheless. But I look forward to hear more from the situation, because I'm kind of in the dark here. I mean, as far as remembering it. So let's go back to the to Dawn's before we go to SL. Dawn says, I know exactly what I want, and I'm happy being single until I meet the right person. I work in a male environment, and a few guys at work have asked me out. I think I have turned into a challenge. Yeah, well, that happens when there's mostly guys in a workplace and there's, you know, a few women there, and they are pleasant in the environment and kind. That could usually be misunderstood by men to think that there is a opening for them, or there's a possibility for them to approach this woman because she's so friendly and kind, and they don't understand that this is just to be a colleague and be pleasant in the workplace. It is hard for men sometimes to understand that this is a kind behavior at workplace, and this is the nature of a woman to be ladylike and pleasant rather than not, and they misunderstand that. So they try because they're programmed to try this. You can't blame them. But you can always refuse, that's for sure. There's no there should never be any pressure or any feeling making any woman feel uncomfortable just because a man is interested. Man is interested in a woman, and that goes without saying, but that doesn't give any right to the man to make any woman feel uncomfortable just because he's programmed to like women. That's not the right way to do. So if they make you uncomfortable, simply put them at their place. Otherwise, they will not get it. And sometimes women should really just look a little bit snob if they are in an environment where they are constantly being approached. That's the only way that they can get the flies away. Otherwise, you will always be a target, because that's what happens. Men would like to approach women, and unless the woman shows a certain energy that I'm not approachable, they will approach. So it is now up to you to handle it, to make it easy for yourself. You don't have to be warm and smiling to every situation just because you're in a work environment. You will assess it depending on if they know their limits, if they're also being cordial, if they're also making it easy to work or not. If not, then you will change behavior by setting out, extending a different kind of energy, different kind of facial expressions, different kind of interaction, even short interaction. A hello would change from hello with a smile to hello, have a nice day, and you move on. Very short, very quiet. They'll get the message. As confusing it is for men, very quickly they can feel there is no opening here, and they will just simply understand to move away. The ones who do. And the ones who don't, they may need an encouragement to move away, and then, of course, you know what to do. All right, now, going to SL. SL says, a couple of days ago, I told you that my ex, by the way, guys, there are 13 of us here. I bloody hope that there will be 13 likes here. if they're not, then I don't know what I'm going to do. So make sure to please click like on the thumbs up thingy here. And if you wouldn't mind, subscribe if you haven't. And please do realize we have over 1,500 videos on this channel. Anything under the sun you can think of is got a video here. After your breakup, emotional hardship, anything to do with your psyche, if you have a feeling that you want to express it, just go on my search engine and type in that feeling, whether it's about your breakup, relationship, or how you feel. There's bound to be a video or two or more on that subject. And there are lots of support available on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Lots of free support available on the channel, including all the playlists, all the videos, and the live talks. They're all free for you guys. And if you wouldn't mind to promote this channel on your social media or any live chat or any, I don't know, setup, whatever it is, I'd greatly appreciate it. We like to reach more people. Obviously, people have a hard time finding us because there are an ocean of channels on YouTube of all different topics. But when they do find us, they stick with us, and they can see the benefits and openings that they will find in their understanding of their own psyche, which helps them to deal and negotiate with daily challenges and emotional hardships and whatever it is that they're being faced with in life. So, having said that, let's get back to SL. SL says, a couple of days ago, I told you that my ex came over to my house to see how I was doing. Although she has a boyfriend and still calls me from a private number. She came over again last night, very late, crying and telling me she's not happy. She's been drinking a lot, and I can tell she's depressed. She goes on to say that she fears that I will soon meet someone else. Well, what did she want you to do? To hang around and watch her relationship with somebody else to develop further? It's her business, and you should go on with your own life. And SL says she slept over and I did not make any advances on her out of respect. All right? The fact that she comes back now boosts my ego, but I really love her and do not want to see her like this. All right? I believe by her getting in a relationship soon after the breakup of 4 years, she never had a chance to heal. Heal? You guys talk about healing as if you're sick when you break up. There's nothing to heal. There's nothing wrong with you. Breakup is a normal process of a relationship that has gone on for a while and somehow, one way or another, didn't work, or participants grew different or developed in a different direction and no longer are interested. Their consciousness have changed and the compatibilities are no longer as fresh as it used to be. So there's no sickness here. So this business of healing causes you to think that because you're using the word healing, then there must be a sickness involved, or there actually needs a time to recover. Just pay attention to your life. Recovery takes place automatically if you're focused on building your life and not encouraging and reinforcing the events that are now dead and have passed, but by thinking of it, you bring it back to life. Because the mind doesn't know the difference of actuality and thought. When you think of something, it thinks it's real and it reacts to it as if it was really happening there. The mind is not saying, is this happening at this very moment? Or this has happened before, or perhaps it could happen again. You will still feel the same anxiety, the fear, the concerns, the emotional reactions to whatever it is that comes to your thoughts. I did have this seminar at the local university a few years back, as I'm sure you guys have, maybe some of you watched parts of it, which was talking about the end of fear and how fear and thought and time are connected. And if you constantly keep thinking about something, your mind will react to it pretty much the same way as if it was happening right in front of you at that very moment. Because the mind doesn't understand time. It just reacts to what you are feeding it, what you're focused on. That's why I always ask you to focus on the activity and the efforts of every minute for whatever it is that you're involved in that minute, in that moment, in that day. Because as long as you're focused on an effort, then you are with the now. You're with the present moment. And when you are with the present moment, everything is novel, new, and on its way to become something, because the efforts are continuous and are timely at that moment. They're live. And therefore, you won't be lost in the past. And you won't be lost in something that doesn't exist in the future. Therefore, you won't be losing the efforts that you would be making to turn into some actuality. Because no matter how much you think about something that has happened in the past, that effort of thinking and the remedies that you come up in your thinking cannot make any actual changes to that what is no longer in existence, the past. Or if you're conjuring up something about possibility of future, which causes anxiety or fear, whatever it does cause, you cannot make any changes to that possibility or remedy it because it has never happened. It doesn't exist. So the efforts will go to waste. But if you are actually involved in focusing on the efforts that you are making at the present moment, then you can develop and create something real, which automatically takes you away from the illusions of the broken relationships or possibilities of you not meeting somebody else, anything like that. And you will be focusing on building your life, which will that automatically gets you out of the rut that you're sitting in and puts you in touch with the reality and actuality and makes you hopeful and witness to the evolvement of your life, to the productivity of your life, to the actual life and living in the life, and your life as you know it becomes alive living, instead of your life by being in your past or in the future would be in the death of the past. If you're constantly thinking about the memories that have gone and no longer are in existence, what you would be calling living would be actually death of the past. So I want you to focus on the activities, on the efforts that you're making. Focus on everything that you're doing which brings your mind from the past or the future to the present, because you are busy. Focus on the efforts that you're making to do something, and that is living in the now. So, it says, I do not want to see her like this. I believe by her getting in a relationship soon after the breakup of 4 years, she never had the chance to heal. Okay. We talked about the healing thing. I feel like I need to introduce her to your videos. Perhaps. Maybe just this last bit that I said would be giving her a little nudge. I will upload it and perhaps maybe cut that in a single video. And he says, I don't think an ex would do it for me, but I want to help her. Okay. All right. Did you break up with her, or she broke up with you? Is that why she comes back to you and keeps telling you that she's worried about you meeting someone? Did you do the breakup? Juanpa says, Pura vida, Mehran, and Pura vida, Juanpa. Male 24, Costa Rica. Gainer says, I have my own problem. I was told by my company I will be sent to Australia. Ooh, wunderbar. To earn more. That's good. I told this to all colleagues. Now everyone asking why you still here. I can't answer them. I'm depressed. I don't get it. Did I miss something? Go to her mom's house. Not really like to be with him usually. What it means, you're talking about the girl who married your friend. And then you say you have your own problem. The company is sending you to Australia to gain more. But you say, now everybody asking why you're still here. Yeah, why you're still here? My mind filled by going out of my country, at least for other people. I don't get it. Just you're 30 years old. You're a young man. You have an opportunity to go to Australia to work for a company and get more money. What the hell is wrong with you? And you have no girlfriend or no commitment here. What's wrong with you? Get on the plane and go. Unless you have some kind of a, I don't know, somebody you like, you're wasting your time right now. If you like someone and she doesn't like you, or you don't know if she does or not, or doesn't look like that you guys would be having an opportunity to make something out of this, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm just guessing, because I don't know why is it you're not telling me what's keeping you hanging in there when you already got an opportunity to go to another country and make more money and all that. So make it more clear for me, and I will be able to make a comment. Juanpa says, Mehran, is suffering necessary for healing any emotional, psychological problems? No, but if you are having emotional challenge, that seems as a sufficient suffering, but there is no more suffering. It's not like saying, okay, I fell and hurt my hand, so it's painful. Now, in order to heal it, I gotta bang on it harder. No, you already hurt. No need to hurt more in order to heal. So if you are suffering, if you are going through some kind of emotional hardship, well, you're already suffering. So do you need another thing to cause you suffering in order to get out of this? Yeah, maybe sometimes it happens that when you, let's say, are, having a little bit of a pain on your hand because you hit it to the wall and you're complaining about it. So let's say you're suffering, and then you catch a real bad cold, and that's another suffering, which suddenly your hand is no longer suffering, because when you compare a bigger suffering to a smaller suffering, the smaller suffering is suddenly healed. I mean, it's not a concern anymore. So the question is, are you really suffering, or you have created that in your mind because everything is good in your life, everything is happening, and everything is fine in your life, and there's a little bit of a blemish out of the ordinary, out of the standard, out of the norm, out of the order that you have, makes you feel like if there's something wrong with your life. But in fact, when you compare it to other things that are going wrong in other people's life, you will see that there's really nothing wrong with your life. It's just a small thing and there's no big deal. So if that's what you mean, well, that's how you deal with it. But if you're talking about, I have to stay in that feeling of discomfort after an emotional hardship or emotional experience, a breakup, there is a duration. I should feel that uncomfortable feeling for a while, meaning I gotta suffer before I get rid of the suffering. Well, that's not a prerequisite. That's just how it happens, because while you're suffering of whatever it is that you're suffering or concerned with, you're processing. You are in search of finding answers. This is how the mind works. Mind is set up, programmed to look for solutions, look for problems, look for dangers, alert you. And when there's something happens, it's programmed to find for solutions. That's why when most women want to talk to their boyfriend or to their man, or to their man friend, or to their husbands, however the relationship is, most men try to solve the problem rather than just listening. Often women don't want any answer. They just want to talk. And yet men go on the default of their brain, which is the same in men or women. Brain has the same function, the same programming. When they hear someone's talking about something, the first thing comes to our mind is to fix that problem, which is not always what the speaker is looking for. They just want someone to listen. They want to have the opportunity to express themselves and get it off of their chest. And the same thing happens with our own mind about ourselves, by ourselves. When a suffering is happening, the mind is programmed to look for solutions. So through the suffering, your mind starts processing. What happened? What can I do to deal with this? And from that, you grow. In other words, stress helps you to figure out things, to grow. Just like the lobster story. You know, we talked about the lobster story. Lobster is a mushy thing running through this shell, hard shell. And after it grows enough, there's no more space in the shell because it's a hard shell for it to grow. So it becomes under stress. And that stress helps him to find a way to grow. How? It goes, finds a safe place under a rock to be safe, and sheds the shell and creates a bigger shell. And then there's space in there for it to grow until it gets to the limits of that shell and does the same thing over and over. So stress, in fact, is good for you to some extent. It helps you to grow, helps you to figure out things, helps you to develop, helps you to become smarter and more experienced. So when you're going through a hardship, which causes suffering, as you said, it's an opportunity for your brain to get into the gear of processing and figuring things out, because it needs to grow. Get rid of this stress, because suffering is a stress. And that suffering and a stress is good news in a way, because it helps your mind to become stronger, smarter, and figure things out that you would have never figured out, and you would have never found out about yourself and your abilities to become more capable to deal with your life. These sufferings, these challenges, in many ways, in many cases, will help you to become that stronger person that you're trying to develop yourself into. So, on that note then, yeah, you need to suffer to recover, but not because not that you need to suffer more than what you are going through. It just means you go a little bit longer in that period of pondering and dealing with that, because you need that time for your mind to figure things out, because it's trying to figure things out, solve the mystery of why you feel this way. And you always become stronger after a breakup or emotional turmoil, and you can use it all your life, I hope. Keith Antoine, okay, the message is retracted, all right. Gainer says, I'm 30, India, single, okay. Ross says, hey Mehran, male 30 UK, hope you're well. It's been a while, haven't been able to catch you live shows, has been busy working mainly, that's good. I'm trying to move on from the same girl, but none seems to give me a chance. It seems women are focused on material things and looks all the time. Sometimes I'm so lonely in a new city, and it's hard to make friends, especially when tired after work. Well, don't try to make friends for the purpose of turning into something more. Just connect with the activity that you like, rather than going to an activity to meet someone or to make friends. Just go to the activity for the activity. And if so happens that you will meet some people, that's a bonus. But if you go to meet some people, you go to an activity to meet some people, and you don't meet some people, then you become depressed and discouraged, because your purpose for being there was not to enjoy that activity or that experience, whatever it was, sports, nature experience, I don't know, meditation, or have lunch, or have good food. You're there to have a different plan for that outing, for that event, for that activity. That can disappoint you. So in a new city, focus on activities, not on meeting people. People are in activities. You will meet people in an activity, but your first and foremost plan should be to enjoy the activity. Not, I'm there in the activity incognito to find someone. No. Just be there. If you're going to the gym, bloody well, go to the gym to get the effect of what it is that you're going to be working out on. Yeah? If you're going to the library, go to the library to read a book. Don't say, I go to the library to meet someone. I go to the gym, maybe I meet someone. I go to lunch, or maybe I meet, then you go sit by yourself and have your lunch. And of course, nobody's going to pay attention to you having your lunch. They're respectful. The guy's having lunch. It's not a place for you to expect anything more than that activity. Limit your attention to the activity that you are engaged in, and then see what, comes from it, and then you deal with it. Otherwise, you'll always be disappointed because your whole motivation for doing something was not really that doing that something and experiencing and enjoying that something, was something else. So you're doing something to get something else. It's always going to be disappointing. All right. Before I get really confusing, let's go on to Jesse. Jesse says, for bursting the bubble. Oh, Jesse paid me for bursting bubble. All right. Please line up all the bubbles. I want to burst them because it looks like there's about 5.5 euros or pounds in every bursting. Jesse says, for bursting the bubble with the smile. He says, no, but really, let me move forward in life. Grateful for your existence in this world. Well, I thank you very much, and I'm grateful for your existence because your existence makes my existence worthy. Otherwise, who would I be bursting their bubble? I would be of no use. So it is you guys who give me value, if there is any, not me, because without you, I am of no use. So thank you for being there, giving me the opportunity to do some bursting. Bursting bubbles, saying things that sometimes makes sense. So, and thank you very much for the super chat, Jesse. Now let's go on to where was I? Oh, I lost everybody's. Okay, I gotta be quick. Let's just see. Bursting bubble, Ross, chance. It seems women are faced on material. And about Ross, and about the fact that you see, it seems women are focused on material things and looks all the time. Whose looks? Men's looks that they're interested in, or their own looks? Well, what did you expect? Women are beautiful things, and they like to be beautiful. That is their power. That is one of the many powers that they have. Now, in the old times, it was all that. Their looks. And, how they would run a home, how they would cook, and all these were their limited powers. But nowadays, they have a lot more power. Ability, education, expertise to help people in many different fields, science, medicine, law, anything you name of it. Men and women are all equally capable to progress, advance, and flourish in addition to all these new things, women are still having another power, their beauty, and they care about it. They like to be beautiful, they like to be in shape, they like to take care of themselves. And that's what we love about them too, isn't it? So what's wrong with that? What's your point here as far as women are focused on material and their looks? So we took care of the look thing. It's good that they take care of their looks. because what's more beautiful than women in this world? Nothing. It's all about them. So it's wonderful that they care about their looks. And about material, well, listen, it's a programming that they have received in their genes for thousands and thousands of years that they had been expecting, and the tradition was that they should be taken care of. And the taken care of was by someone who had means. In the old times, they wanted someone strong to protect them from dangers, from predators, from animals, from famine. So the man would be strong enough to go and, cultivate things and farm things, or, bring food and hunt and so on. So they wanted someone strong. Later on, that meant someone who can provide, and the provision meant someone who has things, like money, abilities to create that. When, as the history goes on, and it's not just about physical abilities to create these hunting and food and opportunities, it was about other things that became available in the world when there was comfort and furniture and industries and technologies and indoor plumbings and all these things were created. Well, that goes along with the expectations of human beings, and women also added that to what they would expect as part of being protected and taken care of and comfort. And that is part of their expectation. And that's been like that for thousands of years, from generations. That has been hardwired in their system, that it is necessary for them to pay attention to it. So they're interested in that because that is part of the way they can ensure their survival and a better life quality. Isn't that every one of us looking for a better lifestyle and quality of life? So the same for them is about material too. Yes, I agree, some women go overboard. So do some men. They're focused on material all the time. They choose their partners based on what he or she has. Well, it's like saying, in a way, maybe not exact good example, but in order to illustrate it, it's like women say, these guys are always so superficial, looking for the beauty of woman. What are you going to say then? Well, yeah, that's how you're programmed. You want someone who seems beautiful to you. Obviously, all women are beautiful. It depends who has a different taste. To different people, beauty is different. But all women are beautiful. But if a woman turns around and says, like a comment you made, that all women are interested and focused on material, but the woman turns around and says all men are interested in beauty, what are you going to say? I shouldn't be? Oh, I'm sorry that I'm interested in beauty. Well, that's what men are looking for, as well as many other things in a woman, isn't it? So same thing with women. What's wrong with the fact that they're interested in material? Does it make them bad? Yeah, if that is the only thing they're looking for, they are devious about it, and they're just gold diggers. Yes, I agree with you. That's shameful, and that's not a good quality of a woman. And you have all the rights and all the choices, all the possibilities to avoid them, and you simply move on. So there is no threat from a woman who's looking for material to you, because you always have the choice of walking away. When you find that this woman is only interested in material, you say, well, I'm no fool. I'm not going to be your gopher. So go find your material that you're looking for somewhere else. I'm not going to fall into that trap. So it comes to you then. They can be whatever they want to be, interested in whatever they want to be interested. It is your choice and your decision not to accept it and not to fall for it. Why is it that you constantly come up, not you, I mean we men, constantly some of us, focusing on, oh, why are they like this or like that? Well, don't choose them. Move away from them if that's not what you like. They can be whatever they want, because you also are always interested in a good-looking woman. So should they say, well, why are these guys always looking for good-looking women? Well, because that's what you think is important to you. So you can't say why women are looking for, well, they're also materialistic. Well, not all are materialistic, first of all. There are lots of women are materialistic in this day and age in the world, because that's the conditioning that they've been receiving, and we all have been receiving through the media, lifestyle, magazines, and all this, that you got to have this to be worth it, you got to have that to be counted, you got to have that to feel you are alive or life is good, you got to have all this to gives you value. And they don't promote that you can be a valuable person based on your knowledge and experience and what you contribute to the world, what you accomplish. They only say you can be value and popular or this and that by having this handbag and having this jewelry and all that. So that is the propaganda and the conditioning that they all receive. So it's not really all human beings' fault the way they have turned out. But having said that, it's also a responsibility of a woman or man to not to fall into the trap of what the society is programming them for, to be so materialistic. They shouldn't have to be. They don't have to be. They don't need to be. Regardless of how much TV and magazines and the whole propaganda is talking about, oh, you know, you're more if you have more. You're more if you have this. And then therefore the whole psyche changes and they go after and become materialistic, because they think by having more material or things, they become more valuable, more sought after, more classy, more this and that, instead of really bringing all that through their education, their experiences, their contributions, and their goals that they set in their lives as a piece of the puzzle of this human experience of life. So, but granted, there are many are materialistic, and we all have a choice to figure that out and move away and not give in to that. And don't forget, there are a huge percent of women who are aware of this, and they're not materialistic. They are holistic. They're looking for real things. And don't put all women in the same category. You can't say all. Every individual is different, especially in human categories. We all have different brains and different way that we are developed. Our consciousness is changing based on our experiences and our values. And I feel eventually human being will get to the point that will stop following all these nonsense of superficial stuff. They will start focusing more and more to values and real experiences, knowledge, compassion, humanities, and the higher values that we are all supposed to be following. All right, this can go on for a while. Let me stop it here and go on to the next question. Says, life seems so much easier and more free when I was back at university. It always is, isn't it? I get nostalgia a lot for the past. Not really a question, just my thought process at the moment. Yeah, I understand that. Don says, my friendliness and kindness is definitely misunderstood at work. Low. Yeah. It's I understand that. It's true. It's very easy to be misunderstood, especially if you're a woman, and because that's what men are zooming in. They're looking for opening an excuse to advance their interaction with a woman, and as soon as there's kindness, it can be misunderstood or purposely misinterpreted in order to serve their purposes and find an excuse so they can try a new step in advancing that interaction at that point. And Don says, I'm professional and won't get involved with a colleague. Made that mistake many years ago. Yeah, okay. Nas says, hi, just wanted to say you helped me a lot when I was going through a breakup last year. Thank you so much. You're quite welcome, Nas, and delighted to hear that, and thank you for sharing that with us and stopping by to say hello. Jesse says, haha, I was typing my problem with having lost passion with life. Then you said, you've said that 100 times now. Book session with me. I was kind of shocked, like you took a needle and popped a bubble. Ah, I see. So that was the £5 for. All right, for every needle popping a bubble, £5, I'll take it. So she reminds me that it was that you were typing your problems with having lost passion in life. Now I remember that you said, then you said that you've said that 100 times now. Book a session with me. Yeah, I remember that. And she says, I was kind of shocked, like you took a needle and popped a ball. Yes, now I get it. Now I get it. Yes, I did, didn't I? All right. So Gainer says, my company told this 6 months ago, but not sponsoring yet. But I told this to colleagues long back too. Now everyone look at me and ask why you're here. Oh, I see. It makes me feel like I'm not worthy enough to get opportunity to travel to clients. Oh, I see. I feel I should have kept this as secret with my colleagues that I have work permits. Yeah, I see. Maybe you should have. Is success depends on flattering my bosses. I'm technically better than who already traveled to client place. Introvert, lost the race. Yeah, well, things like that, when they give you a promise from the company, you don't have to bring it up so quickly to the others. First of all, you make others feel a little bit disappointed or jealous, and you don't need that. You just keep it under your hat, and when it's time to go, you say, well, the company is sending me somewhere, and that's it. You don't advertise it so much. Don says, Mehran, you're so lovely. I wish I lived closer to you. Well, I wish you did. I always like to hear wonderful things from wonderful people, and this is such a blessing that you feel that way. And thank you for your kind words. It's always good to hear that I'm being helpful and worthy of kind emotions, thoughts, energy, and comments. Don says, for all those who think women are materialistic and obsessed with looks, please don't think like that. You sound bitter. We are not all like that. True, true, true. Always remember, guys, the fact that you need woman, you want woman, you love woman, is not a reason to be bitter when you don't have the attention of a woman at the time that you seem to wish you need it. It just happens when it happens. But never lose respect and love and protection for women. Women are everything in this world. They are center of giving birth to so many wonders in this world. And I'm not talking about a biological birth. I'm talking about the encouragement, aspirations, creating hopefulness, all the wonderful things that encourages men to accomplish, somehow related to women. So women are really important to love, cherish, protect, even from your own desires. So you can be critical of them, of course, but don't be selfishly critical. Be constructively critical about all human beings and women as part of it. We're all in it together. We're all just as good and just as needy for some corrections of behavior or mentality. Daniel Rizwan says, how's it going, Mehran? Thank you, Daniel. It's going. Analyze says, hey there, everyone. I'm sorry if this has been brought up before, but what if the reason for the breakup are severe, harsh economic issues and long distance? Okay, analyzed. By all means, we can discuss it. But remember, guys, don't forget about the protocol. Simply, humbly, I've asked 100,000 times. Gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. 3 little things. Like M for male, 121 for age, or 21. Or 50, or whatever the age is, and where you're tuning in from. So I will have a certain kind of an understanding what part of the world we're communicating with what person, of what age, what stage of life, what gender, whatever your gender is, F, M, or whatever your gender is, then the age and the where you're tuning in from. And please do. And until then, there it is. Thank you. Analyzed says, I'm so sorry. This is my first time here. Sorry, female, 32, Mexico. Grazie. So let me finish that topic of woman with Dawn's comment, and then I'll get to yours right away. Dawn says, women are important, but so are men. It is all about respecting each other. Be loving and kind. Treat people how you would want to be treated. True, true, true. Very true. Now, let's go to analyzed. Says, okay, so I'm sorry if this has been brought up before, but what if the reason for breakup are severe, harsh economic issues and the long distance? Yeah, long distance is a very good reason for breakup. It usually ends up to breakup. With breakup. Long distance relationship is no relationship unless it takes a month or 2 max and then they get together. Otherwise, back and forth almost never works unless it turns into a permanent situation soon after the temporary situation, with proper planning, maximum, 6 months or a year. But even through that, if they don't keep seeing each other, it will not last. Unless they're really serious and they have goals and they have made clear plans to make it work. But usually it has a bigger challenge than a local relationship where it comes with lots of different divisions and conflicts anyhow. All relationships does. And she continues, says, and not anything wrong with your partner. So the situation would be the severe reason for the breakup would be severe, harsh economic issues, long distance, and not anything wrong with your partner. What if for once you found someone who completely aligns with you in just about almost every way? Someone who did not but support, nourish, and love. What if for once you found someone who completely aligns with you in just about almost every way? Someone who did nothing but support, nourish, and love. But the pressure of a bad economy takes its toll on the relationship. How does one recover from that? I'm not quite understanding. If someone has done nothing but support, love, and taking care of you, or you of them, what would economic have anything to do with it? So what are you going to do? You're going to break up and go what? To someone who's got better economic situations? Are you saying replacing or breaking up because somebody else with better economic opportunities appears? Or are you just saying just breakup happens not because anyone left someone for somebody else, but just it breakup happens between two people who have been supporting of each other, loving each other, protecting of each other, but harsh economic situations made it difficult for them to be with each other? Well, if it's a long distance, you don't really need the harsh economic situations. You'll break up anyhow if it takes too long. But if economic situations are hard, well, it's hard for both of you. Well, endure it together. If you're in the same town together. But if you're long distance, what does economic situation have to do with it? Each one of you have your own work or your own challenges. Neither one is helping the other one financially, or are you? It's kind of ambiguous. I think I need more info. Analyzes, it's a very complicated subject, because he lost his business and he has to take care of his mother and little sister, so he decided to end it. Now you're telling me a little bit more info, because he can't afford to move here like we planned. Complex. Yeah, okay. But if, as you say, the relationship has been so wonderful and you guys really love each other, and it's not just long distance, you get to see each other once in a while, and I don't know how far you guys are, it's really difficult for me not to have enough information and still try to make sense. So please, if you guys want something senseful, I need the info. If you can't talk about it here, then go on my site, mind-that-seekstruth.com, and make an appointment for Skype consultation, and we'll explore it further than we can do here. But if it is possible for you to discuss it here, then I need info. I need complete understanding of what the situation is. Otherwise, I can't. And because these are live talks, it can't be too detailed. So perhaps some subjects of this complexity maybe deserves a Skype consultation appointment. Otherwise, I try to do my best here, but I do still need some info. So, if you guys are a long distance, well, that's already a no-no, a negative for a continuation of a relationship, or getting a relationship to a certain acceptable, enjoyable stage. If he was supporting you and now he can't because economic situations are hard and he has to take care of his mother and sister and so on, well, there's nothing you can do because you guys are not in the same town. If you guys are independent and each one of you taking care of your own economic situation, well, then bad economic situation should not be a reason for a breakup. Because if anything, you guys can support each other in bad economic situations. If things are good and everybody has lots of money and no trouble financially, well, I guess life is not that easy. But if things are, life is not that difficult. But if things are that difficult, then you need each other's support. So it should be a better reason to stick together. But if you're in the same town and economic situation, is not good, again, there's no reason for breakup, because then you can help each other till things change. Remember, things always change. Nothing remains the same. So I wonder here's the kicker. I wonder if that excuse is a legitimate excuse. If it's a long distance and he can't come over, why does he end it? Is ending a long distance relationship is going to help with his economic situations? The fact that he can't move to where you are at the moment should mean that he should end the relationship. It doesn't make sense, does it? Or he feels that there's never going to be happening, which is giving up on a dream and on a hope, and instead of working towards it, making it happen, is just giving up, which, well, then that's the kind of a person that he is. And then you should move on anyhow. I don't think anything that you told me is the reason to break up. That's, I guess, my take on this. And Don says, long distance relationships are difficult but not impossible. If it is meant to be, it will last and progress to more. Love finds a way of working out. Okay. Analyze says, yes, you're right. I'm sorry. I should have known. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry, Analyze. There's no need to be sorry. We're all here to discuss things. Says, thank you very much. Anyways, yeah, I just don't think that that was a good reason, economic reason. So look, long distance relationship could be a reason to break up. I understand that. Things can happen. Each could meet somebody else. Yeah, that's fine. Or just figure this is long distance, never going to get anywhere because there's no way that you guys would be able to meet, or whatever situation would be. But giving it up just because temporarily economic situations are not good, maybe not a good reason, unless he or you see no chance for having an opportunity to ever turn this infatuation or relationship into a reality at the close proximity of each other physically. Well, then I guess that's a good reason for breaking up either. Also, and then you can move on with your own things and not get deeper and deeper into it for no reason. Pooja Raj says he got married due to family pressure. Listen, guys, don't come out of the left field and just give me a question. How about a little, this is male or female, age, gender, whatever, and where I'm tuning in from, and a little background. I don't remember everybody necessarily, just because maybe we've talked about it a year ago, a month ago or so. So be kind by giving me the info. I wonder if Pooja has already given me any kind of a message here. Says he got married due to family pressure. He still meets me. We both feel bad. I really feel helpless and bad. I miss him. Well, if he's married, why the hell are you meeting with him? You're in control. What you're doing, you're just making it more complicated for yourself. He's not hurting. He's got a wife at home and he's having you on the side. Yeah? He's not going to change that. So you're saying that you're willing to get whatever you can get, even though there is no hope for any kind of a structured future relationship that you are actually hoping for. Because from what I know, things are not going to be changed like that, because he's already arranged or he got married with somebody else, and somehow obviously means that you guys couldn't get married for one reason or another. But he's married and he comes to you too. Well, don't you think he's using you? Why don't you just tell him, listen, you're married now, so bugger off. Simple. But unless you have respect for yourself, you can't do that. If you're giving in to your desire for something that has got no future, it's your own fault. You got to make a decision here, but you're waiting for faith, or you're waiting for chance, or you're waiting for him to make a change. He's not going to make a change. The guy who's gone, who knew you and gone and got married with somebody else, must be some traditional reasons or whatever the hell it was. But he's already married to someone else. he's still coming to you, that's bullshit. And you allow it, that's bullshit number 2. So you can't sit there and say you're a victim, I don't know what to do. You know what you do. He got married, that's the end of it. Bye-bye. You focus on your life. Build your life and go and see what your future holds for you. You meet other people. You will never meet anyone else as long as you allow this guy keeps coming to your life back and forth. That's what I have to say about that. I'll make it short and quick, I guess. Pooja says, hi, it's my first time questioning you. Yeah, okay, I understand. Pooja says, you're right, you're correct. I agree with what you are saying. Thanks. You're quite welcome. Do something about it. Don't just agree. Change your thinking, change your life. Otherwise, you'll be digging deeper and deeper and waiting for something else to change it for you. It won't. You will be the one who do the changes. All right. I think I missed someone's question. There's general waste. I think I missed that one. Says, you're quite right about suffering in order to learn or recover. I have learned so much about myself this year, but it doesn't bring my ex back. I still love her. I never wanted to lose her. And hello, Mehran. Glad to see you online. Always good to listen to you. Hope you're well. Thank you very much, General Waste. I'm sorry I missed your question. Somehow I was following a thread of questions and I bypassed you. All right, everyone. Looks like that we've been here long enough, and it's time for me to mosey on out and maybe do other things that I need to do today. So I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to talk to you about a thing or two. And remember, we have over 1,500 videos on this channel. If you need to talk to me on some matters that you cannot discuss it here on live talks every once in a while that we have, you can go on my site, mind@seekstruth.com, make an appointment for a Skype consultation, and we'll explore it to whatever it is that is concerning you together. And for the time being, for 30 minutes, I'll give you 1 hour, and for 1 hour appointment, I'll give you 2 hours, and there will be plenty time for us to explore what's concerning you. And in the meantime, I want you to be good to yourself, to the others, and I hope to talk to you soon. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Click like on the videos that you watch, and recommend the video channels or the channels with this video to other people, whether you're talking on chat lines or chat sites or however you can do it. We need to be promoted to reach other people and for people to know that we exist. On that note, thank you again for being here. I'll look forward to talk to you again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.